Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this is part 3 of my Bundesliga 24-25 preview. I have already done part 1 and part 2 in which we discussed 6 teams. So if you want to have a look at it, you can go and check them out. I will put the links in the description below. I have been ill for a couple of days, so my voice is all over the place, so bear with me on that. But in this video, we are going to talk about 4 new teams. It's Wolfsburg, Augsburg, Freiburg, and Werder Bremen. So we are going to talk about the transfer, that the players that they have brought in, and some important players have left the clubs as well. There have been important managerial changes as well, so we are going to take a look at what the impact all these things are going to have at the club, and the impact that it's going to have in the new season as well. So let's get right into it. We will start with Wolfsburg. They finished last season at 12th, but they lost 17 games in the season, which was like the third highest in the league, so it was really not a good look. They went through 2 different managers. Niko Kovac, who had been their manager for about 2.5 years, he was sacked after 26 games. They won just 6 times in those 26 games, so he basically left by a mutual agreement. He was replaced by Ralf Hasenhüttl, who is still their manager. He managed for the last 8 games. They won 4, lost 4, so it was like a 50% success rate, if you want to say. He would hope that with a full preseason under his belt, and he has got to know his squad a lot better, he can turn things around. He can maybe get that team finish in the upper half of the table, and maybe even fight for the European places, and not have the same results as compared to the last season. So we'll see how that one goes out. In terms of transfer, there has not been really that much of a business. They have lost their goalkeeper Cohen Castells. He has left and joined Saudi club Al Qadsiya. They have tried to replace him with Camille Carabra, from Copenhagen. They have brought him in for 13 million euros. So it's quite a good amount for a goalkeeper. So let's hope it really works out. They have also brought in striker Mohamed Amaro from loan from Union SG. So that has really been their transfer business. And to be very honest, I'm not really convinced with the business that they have done. I mean, if that's the only business they do, I don't really see them finishing higher up the table because of the business that the clubs around them are doing. Even the clubs who finished below them have done better business than them. They still need, for me, in my opinion, they need a winger and they need another striker. They have brought in Amaro, but I am like not really convinced. No, that like if I would have been a Wolfsburg fan, I would not have been that much excited with that signing. They need goals, and that's why I think they need to bring in a wide player and a striker if they want to compete for those European places. If not, if everything stays the same, I think they're again going to have a season like last year. It's going to be just a normal mid-table finish. They were never really in, like, you know, fear of getting relegated, but as they were not even mentioned in competition for the European places. So if nothing changes, I think it's going to stay the same this year as well. So we'll see. It's still a time for them to go and buy. The transfer market is still open. If they will do it, that we are not really sure about. So we'll see what happens on that one. Moving on to Augsburg, they finished last season at 11th, but they should really not have. They should have finished higher. I mean, they were in contention to finish in the European places up until match day 36. But losing 6 out of their last 7 games, that basically derailed their season, and any hopes of getting into Europe were ended. Like it was a real tragedy what happened at the end of last season. They themselves went through 2 different managers. They started the season with Enrico Mabin, but he was let go in mid-October after 7 games, winning just once, and the club was at 15th place. He was replaced by Jess Thurup. He came in and he produced a great turnaround. Everything looked really good for them, but unfortunately the team was not able to really finish it. They fell at the final hurdle. As I said, until match day 32, they were on 8th position. They most of the season they spent 6-7, that were their sports, and then at the end losing 6 out of the 7 game, that just destroyed their chances of going into Europe, but he would hope that his team has learned from last year, and he is able to take them to Europe, because I'm really sure that they are going to fight for European places this time around as well. If you look at the transfer, there is a big loss for them. Their striker Amardin Norovic has left the club. He's scored 15 goals, provided 10 assists, but he has left for Stuttgart for 21 million euros, so that is a big loss, no doubt about it. But they have brought in players. They have tried to replace him as well. They have brought in Samuel Azenda from Portuguese side Vazala for 4 million euros. He himself scored 15 goals. They have also brought in centre back Kevin Schlotterberg, goalkeeper Nihaliko Lebrovic has also come in. Both came in for 2.5 million euros. So they have made a good signing as well. And plus they have also permanently signed Christian Javic, who was at the club last year. So as I said, even though they have lost Amardin, they have strengthened in almost every area of the squad, and Amardin was the only main player from last year's squad that has left the club. They have the majority of the squad with them. It's still there, so I think it's a good thing for Augsburg, and it's a good thing for Trop. He can really get a good go with them this time around. I am a bit concerned about Zanade. He has come from Portuguese league. I mean, he scored 15 goals, and it's a great thing for a striker to score 15 goals in a season, but he's coming into a new league, and there's going to be a pressure because you are replacing someone who was really good. And I think I hope that he can live up to it, but if he fails, I think this could turn out to be a problem for Augsburg. But right now I'm really if I would be an Augsburg fan, I would be really happy with what they have done in the transfer market. It's looking really good for them, and I'm sure they are going to be in contention for Europe. They are going to fight for those European places, so it's going to be fun to watch that one. Moving on to Freiburg, they finished last season at 10th position, and they also should have finished much higher. They missed out on the European places on the basis of goal difference. They failed to win their last 5 games, losing twice and drawing 3 times, and that basically did it for them. Otherwise they might have been in a Europa League as well. It was Christian Steric last season as well. He was at the club for 13 years. It's a big loss for them. He has been there for so long. He went down with them, then brought them back up and made them a very established Bundesliga side, regularly getting into Europe or competing for the European places. So to lose such an important man as a manager, it's tough. But they have replaced him with Julian Schroeder. He played under Strike for a number of years. Then he retired in 2018 and got into the coaching job at Freiburg. He was promoted as an assistant manager in 21-22 season when Strike got COVID, and he replaced him as a manager as well when he was not there. So in a way you can say that Strike's legacy is still there, but the face of that legacy has changed. It's like a student has taken over from his teacher, so it will be interesting to see how the student performs and if he can carry on doing what his teacher did. Their transfer business has been really good. They have brought in Aaron Dinky from Werder Bremen for about 5 million euros. They have also brought in midfielder Paul Osterhag from the newly promoted Bochum for 3 million euros, as well as Maximin Philipp has joined from Wolfsburg for 2 million euros. Sorry about that one. So, and they have not lost any major part or any major player from their squad, so that is also a really good thing. They were one of the most high scoring teams last year, so in the Bundesliga, so it's going to be very interesting to see them continue play that way, and they would hope that this time around they can go back in Europe and qualify for the European position positions for the next year. I'm really impressed with Freiburg. I am like it's an early bet. I have not made my prediction, but I think they are going to be one of the teams who are gonna finish in the European places, top 6, top 7. I'm putting my bet on that one. I have not, because even though I have not previewed the top 8 teams till now, but I still think that Freiburg have a really great chance. Julian Schachter, I know it's like his first big job. But I think because he has learned a lot from a strike, and it's like, as I said, it's a student taking over from his teacher. He knows almost all of his tricks, and he would have taught him a lot. That's why they have given him such confidence. I'm quite interested, and I hope that he does well. But God forbid it does not work out for him. I still think the squad that they have, even if they decide to let sack Schuttler and bring somebody in, I still think the squad is quite good enough to go and compete for the European places and even qualify for them. So I as an early prediction, I think they are going to be in top 6 or top 7 in the Bundesliga this year. The last team we are going to talk about is in this video is Werder Bremen, and I mean, they also again, like, they finished at 9th position and they missed out on European places on the basis of 1 goal. That was the difference, and that is why they were not able to go into Europe. This is going to be Ole Werner's 4th season in charge, and he would hope that his team learns from last year. They were they were so inconsistent last season. They would go on a 3 or 4 match, 4 or 5 games undefeated run, winning 3 or drawing 2, like that, and then they would go on a 4 games winningless run, losing 2 and drawing 2, something like that. Then losing 3 or something. So they were so inconsistent. There were no consistency for them, and despite all that, they managed to finish 9th, and they were just away because of 1 single goal. And that is why he would hope that his team can learn from that and make sure that this season they do not they don't do the same mistakes again that made them miss out on Europe this time around. Their transfer business has been good. There has been no major departures from their squad. So I always say that the mid-table clubs, as much as people want them to bring in good players, the main thing, in my opinion, not only for the mid-table club, for any club, is to keep the good players that they have at the clubs as long as possible. I specifically told about mid-table clubs because usually the bigger clubs they come and take the the good players that, from these mid-table clubs, or the clubs who are at the lower end of the table. So for Werder Bremen to be able to keep majority or like almost all the important players that they had from last year to be still have at the club is a big deal. And then they have gone and made some signings as well. They have brought in Marco Güler, the Austrian striker. He came on a free transfer. He scored 13 goals last season in the Bundesliga, so that is a very good signing. They have also brought in 20-year Kaketop. He scored 9 goals at Schalke, so they have brought in 2 striker as well. They have also brought in they have also permanently signed Samuel Alakri. He was part of their side last year. He was on loan, so he impressed them, so they have gone and permanently signed him as well. So it's looking really good for Werder Bremen. If I will say this, if they don't lose any more players, like if they don't lose any player from their squad, I think they are really looking good at it. And again, they are going to fight for those European places. It's going to be an exciting season for them. They still have time to go and buy someone. I don't think they are going to go and buy anybody because their squad is almost complete, but you never know. It's the transfer window. Things can change like within 1 second. Anything can happen, so I'm quite excited, but as of now they are looking really good. So that is it from like my preview of these 4 teams. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What is like the managerial changes, the transfer, what do you think would the impact it is going to be at these clubs? Which players do they need to sign more to have a better chance of qualifying for the Europe in the next season? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.